Hi, this is Philomena, and I'm doing the psychosocial in infants. And this is a developmental stage of 2 days to 1 year. And under Erickson, we look at trust versus mistrust. Now, the infant family. Crew is an 11-old Hispanic male. He has two moms that has been married for 3 years. Forgive my apostrophe there. Crew was conceived from the egg of one mom, and a sperm donor was carried by the other male. One mom is a teacher and the other mom is a police officer that has to frequently go undercover for assignments. They live in an upstairs, small 2-bedroom apartment with a window AC unit and running water. There is no smoking and no dietary restriction. Crew is formula fed and has started whole foods at the moms have to work. Crew is sent to daycare. There is no specified religious affiliation. One of the moms smokes, but not in the home or car. Both moms have a large, extensive family support system. Both moms are authoritative in parenting style. Crew is up to date on immunizations and meeting all developmental milestones. He sees his pediatrician at regular interval. Family strength and weakness. Now looking at the family, is a lesbian family of two moms. Authoritative parenting style, that is a very strong point because they have rules, they know what the child needs and they are protective of their child and they offer what the child needs. They're kind of good people, they are working to get their needs. So the family size is small, no other children. I look at that as a weakness because this is only one baby. She goes to daycare, and having to go to daycare, you meet other kids. So crew coming home, there's no any other kid, and kind of maybe the baby feels maybe lonely. And the way you want to deal with children, children want to play around with children, and you know that this less socialization and no one to play with. However, large support system like they from the family, extended family, that's good. That's a strength because, for example, if anything goes wrong, that's I have a backup for the family, and that's a good way to kind of have a good relationship with the family, and that puts things in order. Uh, Cultural, social, religious influences. Is from a Hispanic family. Baby crew goes to daycare. There's no religious affiliation. This is a daycare, and it's not a religious thing. So just being there, there's no, it's just a cultural thing, family that's Hispanic, like anybody else can come from any other community. And that, I don't know what they believe. And I wish they have some kind of religion going on. But my question is, what type of diet is crew exposed to? Okay, would want to imagine that the baby is given baby food, or does he have packed food for lunch, or but I would think they would provide the baby with good food that goes on and that helps in the progression so that the baby kind of have good developmental and gets the milestone that the baby needs. How is crew adjusting to being in a daycare? I would imagine it's stressful, especially you grown up, then you only know two moms, and then all of a sudden you're exposed to so many kids and a teacher with rules that are not like home rules. I would think it's stressful for the baby because there is anxiety. You're going away from your mom, you're going away to meet new people. It's kind of stressful. for the baby. Sickness, hospitalization, impact on the family. It is very difficult. And I could remember one time when my baby was sick. That was a very difficult thing. And you look at, I was working then and I couldn't go to work. And, you know, you have to take off from work to take care of the baby. And that means you don't work, you don't get paid. And that is a debt. Your income needs to roll in so that you meet your responsibility. You need to pay bills, you need to pay hospital bill. That is stressful. It is difficult to deal with hospitalization and sickness, especially in a little human being. Advantage of a large extensive family on which they can depend on. That's a good thing. If you have a large family, they'll always come in handy. They'll always come in, like maybe you need to rest so somebody can watch the baby, or maybe can help you. At least you do one or two chores as they watching at the baby, or they can help you do the laundry or go to the grocery, something like that. And both moms who have an understanding of the illness and be compliance with the medication. Yeah, they're learned. They went to school, they know about it. It's about being compliant with all the medication that you need, and so that the baby gets better and know how to prevent more infection. And at this age, they meet children and there's all sorts of germs and uh, infections. So it's a difficult thing to deal with. Okay. Issues related to family stress theory, unexpected stresses like sickness. That is huge stress, especially to a baby. Sickness, those are very unexpected because the baby would left the home and the baby was feeling fine. Then the baby comes sometime in the night, the baby has a fever, the baby is coughing, oh, this and that. At that point, that's very stressful. How family react to the stressful situation, you need to look at it a positive way, because children are growing, they tend to be exposed to so many, and the family responds positively. Looking at crew, they responded positively. And yeah, if one goes to look at the baby, the other one is doing something, the other one is working and all that. So guidance for adapting to stress is, I mean, being knowledgeable about it. When the babies are growing up, they become so sick sometimes. And that's part of growth. You have family support system, you have an extended family, big family support. That's huge. You need that at that point. People need help, especially when they are very low. Dealing with sickness and the babies, those are huge stresses in the family. And it can cause a lot of stress among the family members too, because they might go blaming on each other. And this is not good for the baby. So at that point, you need to be very knowledgeable and know about this. My baby's growing up, my baby's gonna be sick, my baby's gonna be well. I need to keep up with my medication and the immunizations and know what to expect when all these things come about. So, okay, childbearing stage. Childbearing. This is when you look at the developmental theory, the rationale of the valves. Crew is 11 months old and it falls under stage 2. The family is a young family. They just established a good family of 2 moms, and they are bonding. Having the first baby, you're bonding, you're still learning about knowing responsibility and understanding how the reaction goes. So you see a lot of good parental roles and uh, knowing who does what and understanding the roles with the extended families. And sometimes this is where you see grandparents coming in and they start connection and building up. There's effective communication because you really want this thing. You want your family to grow in a good way. And look at in this phase that is birth of the firstborn until the oldest is 30 months old. Uh, it's like a plan that when you have a baby, and again, you have the second baby, there's a time plan for that. The oldest is 30 months old, so that you get to plan. We don't just have babies and that. So we have to plan for that. Psychosocial, we look at Erickson. This is trust versus mistrust. This is the stage where children depend entirely on the caregivers. And if everything is there, like for example, I cry, I need comfort, I'm hungry, I need food, and all caring needs, I'm cold, I'm covered up, and all that, I'll build more trust. So crew is building trust into their caregiver, which is their two moms. And for example, when things don't go right, yeah, I cry, the baby cries, the baby cry, and they don't get what they need. That's a mistrust. I'm not hungry, but I'm constantly getting fed and brought all these things to eat. It's stressful. I'm like, I don't need all these. So you need to build that trust at this point so that you have the baby grows up positively. And here you look at the loss of control because of disruption and of routine, which leads to mistrust and decreased sense of control. Yeah, the baby wants to be in control. Like, I can cry, and then you come to me, I'll do this, and then you come to me. So these are the things that you look at. You just have to have trust. You don't want the baby to mistrust. Yeah, and cognitive development, Piaget, sensory stage, reflective to simple, repetitive, and imitative activities. That's what they want to do. They have to have a routine, and when they go to school, for example, they have a routine. There's a time for lunch, there's time for breakfast, there's time for recess, and then there's time for separation anxiety. And here is getting to understand the object of permanency and mental representation, the ability to recognize and use symbols. So crew is not delayed, and the growth is within the growth chart. Fear, anticipation of mom departure, is very strong, and it's there. By observing behavior, separation anxiety, recognize parents, and not the dislikes and likes. Anticipatory guidance, we look at this article. It's about information about vulnerability of infants to the dental health. According to that, they say, apart from other safety and poisonous and uh, avoid drowning and falls, all these are anticipatory guidance about the kids who are at this stage. But again, the emphasis here I wanted to share is about the dental care and diseases. So we see that a lot of kids or a lot of families, they don't take care of their children's dental welfare. So pediatricians should begin the process early assessment of the oral health provision of anticipatory guidance and educating the parents regarding good oral hygiene, prevention of caries, and establishing proper feeding habits. These will help to curb a lot of sickness or infections and all that. So nursing diagnosis will be a risk for injury. Why? Because crews age like to explore everything. They want to see everything. They want to know everything, and they'll do in terms of eating, in terms of trying, in terms of cracking it, in terms of anything. So this is a very risky stage for injury, for risk. And I think that, so when bringing up a kid at this stage, it's kind of stressful in its own. Yeah, I think that's all I have, and thank you. Asante.